In the series? Well, it's non-union still, guys. And they shoot in New Zealand, and I'm part of the union, so I can't do that. Once you're in the union, you can't shoot non-union stuff as an actor. So, if it was a union show, I would definitely consider it. But I really want to direct an episode, actually, though, because I want to get into directing episodic as I'm becoming more of a director and a filmmaker. So I planted the seed in their ear, but who knows? We'll see. Whatever.
I was going to ask about your movie. What is it like directing not just other actors, but yourself? Do you feel like more critical towards your own acting when you're directing yourself?
Yeah. No, actually, when I'm directing, I have the directing hat on, and then when I'm jumping into acting while I'm shooting and directing, I literally am not, I'm just like a thing. It sounds horrible. I'm like, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just like, okay, just diving. I mean, there's a scene in the movie where I'm like jumping between the limo. We're driving a limo in the movie, and I'm jumping through the window to the back. And then I keep reset. I'm like, okay, reset. And then I like climb through the window again, and then like go through the window. I'm like, okay, action. I'm jumping. I'm like, slap my butt, David. Because he slapped my butt in the movie. And then I'm like, okay, come back, reset. Okay, slap it harder this time. And the other actors, Michael Ironside, everybody, they're cracking up laughing, going, oh my God, you look like a lunatic. You look like an absolute crazy person. I don't know if that answers your question, but I don't dwell too much on it. Like, I'm not criticizing myself. I'm just in it. Who am I talking to? Okay. I'm just like, sorry. I'm just trying to make a movie. You know what? We're going so fast, 100 miles per hour. I don't have time to get insecure. Yeah.
I just have one more question. All the movies that you made, like The Party and other ones, if you have to do it different ways, which one was your favorite one to do?
I'm listening to you, but I just realized I'm doing this whole thing wrong. I'm so sorry. What's your name?
Jerry.
Jerry, I'm going to follow you. You pick the people. I realize I'm making him run all over because I'm not looking where he's going. See, I'm aware sometimes. Okay, from now on, Jerry, I'm going to follow you. Okay.
What I mean is that you made so many movies, right? You made Parties and other different movies. Which one was your favorite movie?
I like all the jobs I've had for different reasons, I think. Power Rangers, for me, was the first job I ever had. So it was a learning curve in so many ways of just etiquette of being on set and getting over a lot of my stage fright that I had, which I had crazy stage fright. And then I did a few movies of the week that were just exciting and fun. And then Felicity, for me, was the first time working with these amazing film directors that would come in and direct this TV series, and these actors at this caliber I'd never worked with, and that for me was a real growing time for myself, I think, artistically as an actress. And then Flashpoint for me was the other long series I did. Well, I did a couple other series and movies, but Flashpoint for me was where I really found my confidence. Even more so than just as an actress, but as a human. Like, I think I was very insecure for about 15 years, and then, see you later. And I found my confidence doing Flashpoint, which inevitably has helped me transition into filmmaking and becoming a writer and a director. And all those lessons, the 20 years I had as an actress and the career I had, really was my training ground for me as a filmmaker. And now I just got accepted into this school called the Canadian Film Centre. It's a program for directors, so I get to learn in a whole other way that I've never learned before. Thanks, I know, I'm really excited. Oh, thanks, guys! I just got in. I'm not supposed to say anything yet. Oh, shit! Wait! No, but don't tweet that or anything like that. Ah, damn it. They haven't Jess. All right, you guys don't say anything. I'm all hot now. They say at the end of May. So at the end of May. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal to you guys, but for them, I'm not supposed to tell anybody. I'm all hot and sweaty. Anyway, so that's happening. Don't tell anybody. Fuck. Sorry. Anyway, oh, I didn't even think you were here. I was just gonna pretend I didn't do that. Anyway, the take I had on Kimberly, and she did a wonderful job. It's just a whole different chick. You know? Different tone of movie as well. The whole movie is a different tone, so. But she did awesome. I really liked the movie a lot. Oh, Jerry's still running.
So I know everyone here probably saw the new Power Rangers movie and loved your cameo in it. But I think everyone will agree it was really too short. And
Oh, the cameo?
yes, and with the way it ended, they're obviously going to make a new one. Is there any word of you doing another cameo in the second one?
There's no word. It would be nice. Absolutely. I would do it in a heartbeat. I don't know if you saw the little YouTube thing of how I actually got the cameo. Did you? Guys, it's on YouTube. Yeah, so actually I called. Well, I had my agent. I have one now. I had them call the production office while they were shooting because here's the thing. Maybe I'm telling you information I shouldn't tell you anyway. Anyway, my agent in the States could not get me for the life of me an audition for the movie or even plant in their head a cameo. For some reason, the casting in the States or whatever, they wanted nothing to do with the original Rangers. And I do understand somewhat what that means and why, because they wanted to create a different franchise, I think. So my agent that I have now in Canada had this idea. He was like, wow. Well, he wasn't representing me at the time, but he is now. He said, well, if I was your agent, I would just call the production office where they're shooting. Because I'm sure the director would think it's a great idea, and the line producer and everybody who's like actually in the trenches grading the movie would be like, oh, this is a great idea. So that's what we did. We called, and then within like 2 weeks, I was flying out there to be in the movie.
Was it the same for JDM? Did you have to do the same process?
I think he has more of a friendship with the whole Saban franchise and everything, and I'm not exactly sure how it all went down for him. But it was at around the same time that he got the call. So I don't know if I planted the seed and they were like, oh, or he planted the seed and I just happened to call right at the right time. I have no idea how the whole thing went together, but it sort of made sense, I think. I don't know if you guys agree. To me it did, because it was me. But, but if they were going to have two people, that they would have Jason, and if they were going to have Jason, if they were going to have one other person, it would be Kimberly. So.
We'll hope to see you in the next one.
That would be cool. That would be nice. Although it was very funny shooting that, because we were like on the set and we get there, and it's like big green screen and big giant 170 or how much $1 million movie it is to make it. And we're like, so, like, what's our part? What are we doing? And they're like, well, you're standing here and you're looking up at the Zord and you're holding your phone, and we're like, okay. What are we doing? Like, what's happening? Well, they just saved the world. And I'm like, so are we Rangers? No, you're townspeople. And we're like, Jason's like, what? I'm a townsperson? I'm like, you just gotta go with it, Jason. In our heads, we're not townspeople. We're not townspeople, and we know it. They don't know it, but that's all right. And you guys knew we weren't just townspeople anyway. I don't know what the whole thing is about. And if you blink too long, you won't even see us, but yeah.
From your entire involvement on the show, what was your favorite moments, whether on the show or even offset, but still involved in the show? Like your favorite memories that still remain strong with you even to this day?
Good ones or bad ones, or any?
Well, any of them, but if you don't want to mention the bad ones, that's okay.
No, there was never any like a bad one that's like, oh, that was terrible, but maybe not appropriate ones. There was a few of those. Some I could never tell you. Let's see. I remember.
Disney?
Oh, someone's watching TV again. Sorry, Disney? What?
I was just gonna say, what about the Disney part where you all went and you go to Disneyland and they were like kind of crazy? You didn't know what it was like until.
Well, we went to Hawaii and we landed and they didn't tell, they announced it on the radio that we were landing in Hawaii for some personal appearance or something, and they didn't send any security, and we didn't know how popular the show was, and 10,000 people showed up to the airport. And you know when you get off a plane in Hawaii, they lay you.
Oh.
Yes.
And that's before Facebook, that's before a lot of,
Yeah, this is in like 93. And we're walking. I remember I was behind JDF and they kept laying him and laying him and laying him. And he turns around and looks and I just see these two eyes, these beady eyes going, and I was like all laid almost too. And I was like, oh my God. Like it was so scary, so scary. And I was with my boyfriend at the time. I remember he was like dragging me through and they just kept throwing these flowers on us. We couldn't even breathe. I like to say I was almost laid to death. I know it's so silly. So silly. Anyway. Okay, so other memories, funny ones, appropriate ones, because there's lots of children in the audience. Huh? No. I don't know. I was thinking about a couple fights we had. Okay, here's a funny. I always find this so funny, and Jason would kill me if I even talked about it or told you, but for some reason when we were doing the show, he decided to buy a limo. So Jason used to show up to set in a limo that he bought that would park in his yard. I don't know why I think that is the funniest thing. And he would have Junior, the security guard, driving around in this limo. So funny. And that's not my memory, though. Okay.
Hi, I just wanted to say something. I'm pretty sure I'm not being the only guy here. You were my childhood crush.
I don't like to think about that too much, you guys. Anyway.
When I was a kid, I totally wanted to be Tom just so I could get a girl like you. And you still look good.
Thank you. Thanks.
When you left Mighty Morphin, did you get to keep anything on set? Like any props?
The boyfriend that I talked about before, at the time, he did steal the Blue Ranger costume. But he got fired with about 5 other electricians at the time. I think Paul was a grip though, but they, as a joke, I think they got drunk and they went in there and then they stole the Blue Ranger costume. And they all got fired. They all got fired. I have the coin from the movie. Yeah, and it's almost like wooden in a way. It's like a weird plastic coin. But I have the one from the movie. That's really the only thing that I still have.
Doing something fun like Power Rangers and then going to a serious movie like The Perfect Body, was that a difficult transition for you?
No, it was a very, like I mentioned before, like any chance on Power Rangers where I got to play a bad person or be Rita or start to sort of exercise my acting skills that I did not have was very exciting. So landing Perfect Body, which was the third job, because I did Suzy Q, and then I did a TV movie called Killing Mr. Griffin. And Michelle Williams was in that with me, and a bunch of other people. Mario Lopez. A bunch of other people. We did this TV movie. I think it's actually on DVD. It was quite fun. And then while I was shooting that, I'll never forget, I got the call that I got Perfect Body. And I loved doing that movie because I got to play a gymnast. So I still could do back handsprings at that time. And so that was fun. And the issue with the movie was about eating disorders. And they actually played that movie for a long time in health classes to sort of educate and help kids. It didn't romanticize the eating disorder, which I find a lot of the movies, or even like, the show out right now, 13 Ways, like romanticizes some really hard issues that kids go through, which is not appropriate or good. And I think Perfect Body was very educational in that way, and actually helped a lot of girls through eating disorders. So I loved doing that movie.
When they shot that Power Rangers Zero movie, you had already been replaced by Catherine. Did they ask you to appear in that movie, or you wanted to?
They asked.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Your daughter, are you going to encourage or discourage her if she wants to?
To act? For Frankie, for me, in my head, I have a lot of thoughts about children actors and going into acting too young. And I mean, this is what I believe, and other people can have their own opinions, their own feelings about it. But I find it dangerous, and I don't think, because you know, when you're going through your teens, you're just discovering who you are, and you're just finding your own identity, and I think it's a dangerous thing to play with that when you're still a teenager and figuring out who you are, to completely rely on yourself as who you are within a character or within fame. Because once that's taken away, then what are you left with, right? So I'm not pushing Francesca into acting at all. If she has the choice and wants to pursue it and loves it and do it, say when she was 14, I would say, great, let's go do theater or take some classes. And then when you're 18, you know, you can make your own choices with that and pursue it professionally if you wanted to. But I wouldn't, as a kid, sort of guide her in that direction at all. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, way back there. Go, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm going. Run like the wind.
You said earlier that you would like to direct an episode of the Power Rangers.
I would.
This is more of a suggestion. If you ever do get the offer to direct, it would be amazing to do a Forever Pink episode. And maybe even do just a real small cameo.
Do a Forever what?
Forever Pink.
What's that?
Forever Pink.
Oh, Forever Pink. I thought you said Forever Pete.
Oh,
Oh, Forever Pink. Yeah. I think that would be cool, and do a little cameo in there. I like that idea. Maybe I'll write a script, a spec script on that. Yeah. Anyway, anybody else?
Who caused the most retakes?
Did your dad tell you to ask you that? You mean who was the most unprofessional and a real jerk on set? No, wait. Who forgot their lines? Oh, that just brought back a horror memory. The scariest moment ever as an actress, I told you I had stage fright, right? And one of the scariest moments of my life as an actor was shooting Power Rangers. To answer your question, and I had this little monologue, this little, probably 3 sentences long for Power Rangers. I couldn't remember it. And it became a nightmare. And it's when have you ever gotten yourself into a situation where you psych yourself out? Because now you're on the 5th take. Roll, go again. Okay, now I gotta go again. And you get scareder and more scared and more scared and more, until you're paralyzed, till I was in tears, till they had to stop production and take a break so that I could regroup to get. So that would be me. I'll never forget that. And every now and then on other sets and doing other shows, there will be a moment where I'll my brain will fry, and I'll have post-traumatic stress of that moment, and I'll go back and I'll be like, can't happen, and then it becomes this crazy mind game of remembering your lines, because sometimes remembering your lines is really hard. So yeah, it was me. So then what I started to do on Flash Boy, which I got in trouble, and this is called a lazy actor, but it wasn't lazy, it was petrified of having that situation happen again. I would write my lines or I would paste the sides of the lines, and I would be sitting in the SUV when we were doing Flashpoint, and I would paste the lines right there. So I'd be like talking and I'd look and like read the lines and then say the lines. And then the producer came to me and said, I can't do that anymore because they couldn't edit the scene. You can see me reading the lines. Anyway, I'm telling you guys way too much. I think I should end now, Jess. Now that I'm talking about way too much now. What time is it? Oh, okay, we can keep going. Anybody else or? Yeah.
Sorry. They had a question over there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So
Whatever, wherever you want.